Hello and welcome to Cricket Happenings, dear friends and subscribers. On this Cricket Happenings show, I'm going to talk about an important match that happened in the Super Sixes today in the ICC World Cup qualifiers in Zimbabwe, where the host team Zimbabwe suffered their first defeat in this World Cup qualifiers, as it was a game. In fact, they had done a good job actually of raising 289 runs, but West Indies definitely proved equal to the task, and they won the match by 4 wickets with some very, even though Brendan Taylor, the experienced player from Zimbabwe, hitting a century, the West Indies players really combined. Marlon Samuels, Shai Hope, and Evan Lewis combined in getting West Indies the victory by 4 wickets, and this will make West Indies breathe a bit free now, because the next game would be coming against Scotland. So that is something I'm going to have just a brief look at that today, and other than that we'll have a look at some cricket news. So let's first dive into that West Indies Zimbabwe match, which happened at Harare, the capital of Zimbabwe, as you know. And let's see what happened. So Zimbabwe actually batted first, and they were bowled out for 289. Sefa Zimbawe was claimed by Holder for naught, and then Masakadza was given a sort of a really torrid welcome, as Holder got a ball to actually lift, and it hit the splice of the bat, and Masakadza was out for 7. So 2 wickets were gone, but Solomon Meyer stayed to crack 45, 33 deliveries, 3 fours and 2 sixes before being clean bowled by Jason Holder, who took the early wickets. So 34. So basically they were 30 for 2 at that time. And then, but as I said, there was only one man who really stood it out, and was none other than Brendan Taylor, who on his own, with some little support from Sean Williams, Solomon Meyer and Sikandar Raza, Williams making 34 of 31, 4 fours, Sikandar Raza making 22 of 33, 2 fours. Brendan Taylor not only held the innings along, but really allowed the Zimbabwe innings to careen along very well, and finally they ended up with 289 all out. Brendan Taylor's innings, 138 of 124 deliveries, 24s and 2 sixes in that knock of his. And then Sean Williams, I already spoken about it. And then there was not much support. Creamer was out for naught, Chisoro for 18 of 22 with 1 4, Jarvis 1 and 289 all out. Definitely looked a very good score on this particular pitch. Hema rose 3 for 55, but Jason Holder was really the pick of the bowlers. Look at his economy: 10 overs no maiden, 35 runs and 4 wickets, led from the front as the captain of the West Indies cricket team. Kimo Paul, 10 overs, 255. Bishu had his figures absolutely damaged beyond recognition, as Brendan Taylor went after him in a big way. 10 overs, he was thrashed for 73 runs without a wicket. 4 overs for 28 for Ashley Nurse. Powell bowled 4 overs for 26 and Gale 2 overs for 14. Now West Indies actually chasing 290 was still definitely a stiff task. But on this particular pitch, with not a lot of bounce happening, one thought that West Indies definitely could bite that time, and that's what they precisely did. Gale was an early victim after hitting 2 sixes of 13 deliveries, making 17. Musrabani was the best bowler today for Zimbabwe, picked up his wicket for 17. But after that, Evan Lewis contributed a neat 64 of 75 deliveries, 7 fours and 1 6. And then it was that partnership between Shai Hope and Marlon Samuels which really paved the way for West Indies to win the match. Shai Hope contributing 76 of 97 balls, 5 fours and 1 6. And Marlon Samuels contributing 86 of 80, that was 6 fours and 4 sixes. And Marlon Samuels was a real treat to watch. As you know, Marlon Samuels, when he bats, and if he gets going, it's a real treat to watch, because he has a lot of character, and the strokes are all classic strokes, and that was what one got to. So he hit Creamer for two. He hit Sikandar Raza for two glorious sixes. He also hit Creamer for some sixes as well, and he was looking pretty sharp today, Marlon Samuels, and that was a good thing to happen, as Marlon Samuels' contribution was 86 of 80 deliveries, and Shai Hope at 76. And Shai Hope and Marlon Samuels played in a very measured manner. At 110 for 2 when Evan Lewis departed, they definitely were made to struggle by the Zimbabwean bowlers, but they just picked up another gear from one gear where they were just just nurdling the innings along. Suddenly they exploded into big time, and that really helped matters, as this partnership had 135 runs, which was very well done, and that really paved the way, as I said. Hetmyer was out for 13 of 7 balls, 1-6. Jason Holder for 6, and when things were really getting along with Solomon Hetmyer gone in the 46th over with the score on 265, they still needed 25 runs. Roman Powell scored 15 of those with an unbeaten 15 of 12 deliveries, 1-6. And Ashley Nose was not on 8 of 8 balls, and game was over. West Indies had taken their first win in the Super Sixes after losing to Afghanistan the other day. So Kyle Jarvis, 9 overs, none for 49. Sikandar Raza, 7 overs, 1 for 58. Muzrabani, to me, was the pick of the bowlers today for Zimbabwe. Did a splendid job. 9 overs, no maiden, 2 for 36. Creamer, the leg spinner and the captain, went for runs aplenty. 10 overs, none for 2 for 63. Chisora, 7 overs, none for 38. And Sean Williams, 7 overs, no maiden, 1 for 45. And the man of the match going to Marlon Samuels for his very door knock of 86 of 80 deliveries. So that is as far as the Super Sixes are concerned. Now, as I said, there's not much cricket news today. It's just a sort of a skimmer as far as cricket news is concerned today. So talking about the cricket news, the cricket West Indies is offering the players $25,000 to go and tour Pakistan. So that's one news. From Australia, Mitchell Starc on the eve of with the third test fast approaching, Mitchell Starc is troubled. He has a sore calf muscle. Other than that, Sydney Thunder in the Big Bash League will have the former New Zealand ace pace bowler Shane Bond as the head coach of the team. Some IPL news. As far as IPL news is concerned, Mitchell McClenaghan, who always did duty for Mumbai Indians, finally gets his place back in the squad after Jason Behrendorff pulled out due to injury. And as you know, the New Zealand England test matches are about to begin. The Eden Park in Auckland is really beckoning, as New Zealand will be making history when they host the first ever day-night test match in New Zealand, and where New Zealand will be facing England at that very picturesque Eden Park in Auckland. And Martin Guptill has been included in the New Zealand scheme of things. Well, dear fans and subscribers, as I said, there's not much to talk. It was a real skimmer as far as cricket news is concerned. It was a short cricket show. It was all about West Indies winning against Zimbabwe. And as I said, West Indies' next assignment, they would be breathing free because this was a crunch game for them. And I think West Indies have definitely passed a big hurdle here right now, nevertheless, and that is what it is. Well, dear fans and subscribers, a pleasure bringing you this daily cricket show time and again, and I'll be seeing you all, dear friends and subscribers, tomorrow on my next cricket show. Until then, good night.